Good morning, traders, and welcome to Phoenix Blues morning update. Today's Thursday, the 14th of July. Hope you're all well today. My name's Nishal Patel, and I'm going to give you a quick breakdown and synopsis of the markets. Just having a look at how the US session closed off, how the Asian session opened and closed, and how it will have an impact on to the European Open. Quickly moving on forward, I think what we should do is just evaluate the global indexes. Having a look at the global indexes, starting from the US up at the top, as we can see, the Dow Jones and the S&P finished off with a late rally. Let's remember off the back of the NFP data last week and how the markets have gone this week. We've got strong US data coming out that really has buoyed on the market. We've seen risk appetite pick up globally. And, straight off the back of the uncertainty of the Brexit, and let's remember that there is a lot happening in terms of easing people's uncertainty on the marketplace, especially with Brexit and how and what's happened. But just having a quick look at the rest of their indexes before we speak about this. We've got the Hang Seng and the Nikkei. Both of them are doing really well, finishing off with really strong rallies, and Asian shares literally near 8 to 9 month highs, and everyone really is looking at the Bank of England and the rate and the potential rate cut for this rally. We are looking here at Phoenix Blue for potentially a 25 base point cut, so that's 0.25% cut of the rate, and we'll probably see Mark Carney speak about this and give us a little more information after the potential cut later on this afternoon. So we're expecting indexes, European indexes to rally initially straight off off the back this morning. Probably see that continue through the day as we're seeing an investor appetite increase. Moving on forward, which is I think is very important for us, is having a look at what the next what slide will show us. Just having a look, what's really important is the news announcements. And as I said, there isn't much to look at today except what's coming out on cable. And we'll evaluate the charts in a moment and have a quick look at how they're fared. But we've already had data out in the Asian session on employment rate, which has affected the Australian dollar. We need to remember that here in Europe we have a bank holiday in France. Shouldn't affect liquidity too much. May have a slight dip, but we will have a look at the charts in a moment, and euro isn't doing too much too quickly anyway, so we shouldn't have too much effect there. But the big one really is at midday. This is British summertime on GBP. MPC official bank rate votes, the monetary policy summary, and official bank rate coming out at midday. Proceedings do start at 11 a.m. BST, so we'll start seeing reaction from the market from late morning going into midday, which is followed by announcement out in the USD. And off the back of what we've already had, we should probably see good data come out in the US. That will obviously have a knock-on effect on the market, which we shall look at first. But first things first, let's have a quick look and directly at the charts. And the first chart we want to have a look at is the yen. As we can see on the yen, I'm just going to increase the size of this chart just so you guys can see it nice and clearly. As we can see here on the yen has effectively slid back or devaluated back to that 105 level, which is indicated on my chart on this by the lowest level of support and resistance. This is a daily time frame that we're having a look at, and we've seen it's pretty much this week the yen has made its way back to that 105 level after digging deep into that 100 that that strong 100 level, 100 yen to 1 USD. Is in and around that, and effectively, remember, let's not forget what's happened out in Japan and how it's reacting. Effectively, this is all coming off the Brexit, um, and uh, and how they've reacted to it. Let's also not forget. There's a new PM in power. It's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and he's also called for certain financial stimulus to help Japan out, which is expected to reach around 2% of GDP. And we'll probably see some adverse movement on the yen as well. So for those people that are looking to trade the yen, be vigilant. I think it's going to show some nice clear signs. If you are prepared to make the right entries, and we'll keep you up to date, especially the protege members. We'll keep them up to date on what trades to take and when. Um, so there's definitely one to talk about. That being said, there has been some movement on the commodity markets as well. Moving from one safe haven to another. Let's have a look at gold. As we can see, gold is making its descent right now. It's floating at 1329.46 and plummeting very quickly. This is a daily time frame. We're probably expecting this because of the certainty on the marketplace right now. Obviously, with Brexit and the way people were thinking that it potentially could put us into not only Britain into recession, but a lot of the other economies globally dipping back into recession territory, with a lot of uncertainty. That is easing. Definitely with the new prime minister coming into power, here in Britain, with Theresa May coming into power and already having appointed key members of her government so quickly. That's given a lot more certainty onto the to the marketplace, and she's obviously put certain people in charge of negotiations with other European states for the Brexit. But most importantly, this is giving certainty to the marketplace, and this is going to have a knock-on effect onto gold. We are expecting gold to tumble, and here at Phoenix Blue, we're expecting gold to carry on tumbling to in and around that 1250, 1230 region. For myself personally, anyway. Before I look to start trading it long again, I'm most certainly going to be trading here at Phoenix Blue. We're most certainly going to be looking for a very bullish outlook on gold spot over the course of the year. So this should give us some lovely entries. Moving on to another commodity that we should be looking at, and I know many people are going to be trading it or have been trading it, is WTI. WTI right now, we have, again, this is a daily time frame. We've seen it float in and around that 200 moving average, just above $44 a barrel on WTI right now, floating at 44.96, looking to come back and test in and around that level again. Not doing much, but definitely it has fallen. And I think really it's fallen because of investors and people knowing that there isn't really much of a glut involved. We saw a very sharp increase on oil a couple of days ago, straight after the OPEC announcement. That's really come about and reversed straight off it. With traders and investors looking at the data rather than just looking at that announcement, which had pushed oil just over 46 and close to the 47 level per barrel. Moving on forward, just having a quick look at euro, which I think is important before we have a look at cable and finish up. Having a look at the euro right now, and again the daily time frame here. We can see euro is stuck in and around that range, is trading within that range, trading at 1.1097 right now, circa, and literally not moving anywhere too fast. I don't think we're going to see too much movement on the euro. Any movement that is going to come into play really is just going to come from the movement off the greenback. Remember, we have had strong data out on the greenback, and probably see that gain momentum over the course of the next week or so. And let's not forget, we do have that announcement out later. But yeah, moving on forward, going straight over to cable. I'm just going to show you cable on a daily time frame. We've got a chart right there, and cable has, as we can see right now, again, this is a daily time frame, 1.3232. It really is gaining momentum. It's gaining a little bit more strength, definitely from these lows in and around that 128, 100 level. Has recovered. I wouldn't say it's fully recovered, and I can't see us fully recovering back to that 148 level, or 147.4. As you can see highlighted on that highest level of support and resistance on my chart right now. Probably won't see that in the short term. Hopefully, with the measures that are being taken by the Bank of England and Mark Carney, and we probably should expect to see a rate cut today. I think the markets had factored that in yesterday. Onto and we saw a reflection directly onto our charts, but we'd probably see a little more information coming out from Carney when we hear from him a little later on today, and we probably expect him giving us a background of how he and the rest of the MPC plans to handle monetary policy in the upcoming few months, especially if we are to see a base cut today. So, guys, that's over and out for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's quick morning update to give you a background of what we'd probably expect of the markets for the course of today. Until next time, happy trading. Goodbye.